Both traded super kicks until Cole hit a neck breaker on the knee, another Ushigoroshi. Cole charged and Black hit the Black Mass, or what he calls the end. Black hits his finish, which, if you guys remember in WWE, was a protected finish, just like the RKO was, just like End of Days was from Baron Corbin. He hits his finish. Flush in the face. Adam Cole withers away to the canvas. He's on his back. Black goes for a cover, and he only gets a 2 count. And Adam Cole kicks out of Black Mass. I'm going to stop there. Why are we using the move? Why are we using that move? Maybe it's not that big of a deal to Black or to somebody else watching the show. Why are we using the finish if the finish is not going to come into play and be the actual finish of the match? How weak does that make the move? And how weak does that make Malakai? If he hits the move, the one thing in his fucking pocket that will allow him to win a match at any given point, it legitimately was the RKO rebranded, a move that came out of nowhere. He pulls it off and it comes out of nowhere. You don't know what's coming. And when he hits it, it's over. That's the way that I envisioned it. That's the way a lot of people envisioned it. Goes for recovery, gets a 2 count. Why are we using the Black Mass as a fucking means to a kick out instead of a means to an end? Who produced this? Who went over this match and said, you know what, yeah, we'll go with that. That's a good spot, man. That'll pop the crowd. So we're using a finish that should ultimately be protected. That is the only thing in his arsenal that could be, that's the KO shot. That's it. Yeah, we'll use it as a kick out. Nobody finds that to be a problem? I don't know. I really don't know, man. Black tried dragging Adam Cole up, collapsing initially. He played possum. He caught Black with a super kick. Panama Sunrise, another super kick. Both guys go down. Cole gets up first. Black tried to get up. Instead, he sat with his legs crossed, telling Cole to essentially put him out of his misery. Cole hit the boom to the back of the neck, got the win. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole beats Malakai Black, who is the leader of House of Black. He beat Buddy Matthews last week. He's now gone through 2/3 of the House of Black. Fans didn't really know what to think of Black basically asking to be ended. Kyle O'Reilly was shown watching backstage, getting worked on by a trainer after he just wrestled in a street fight with the Learning Tree. Cole got up. Black got up. He thanked Malakai. Cole offered a handshake. Black shrugged it away. Instead, gave Adam Cole a hug. Black walked up the ramp. Adam Cole took the microphone and put Black over as one of the best he's ever faced in his 16-year career. Fans then started chanting, Malakai, Malakai. He looked around as if it was the last time people would see Malakai in AEW. The way everything transpired on television last night, you cannot fault the fans for thinking the way that they did on social media. Malakai's body language, the way the match ended, Malakai's body language, and the way he looked and admired the fans, it looked like a send-off. Maybe don't look at the fans in that way if you don't want people talking about you going away and leaving the company. Because that's the way fans interpreted it. You can't fault the fans for looking at that situation the way that they did. Misinformation and rumors get started that way. Malakai's not an innocent party in that. The way that he looked as if it was the last time we'd see him on AEW television. Don't give a shit what anybody says. That's the way that I saw it. If I saw it that way, I have every given right to think that. Other people thought that same way as well, clearly. Because rumors got started on social media And then fans were claiming that Malakai, that could have been the last time he wrestles for AEW. That he's going back to the E. Malakai this morning saw everybody talking about him and addressed his AEW status with all the speculation going on about his future. Fightful reported that Black is not retiring, and the word going around in AEW in recent months is that they believe Black could be done towards the end of this year or early in 2025 if options are not exercised on AEW's behalf. I won't get into that because I already gave Tony Khan the benefit of the doubt to not add time on top of Rey Fenix because I thought he was better than that. And clearly he is not better than that. So if he did it with Phoenix, I'm assuming he's going to do it with everybody else past Rey Fenix. So we'll see. I want to think that if his contract is coming up, that Tony won't add time on top of his contract due to injury or other reasons, personal reasons. So we really don't know. But everybody's like, well, it sounded like, it looked like Malakai's last match in AEW, but Fightful's reporting that the word going around within AEW is that he could be done at the end of the year. So theoretically, what the fans were saying were correct. We may be in another situation where he doesn't want things to be out there and he's got to fan the flames because he doesn't want Tony to catch wind of him wanting his exit. If fans start to exacerbate Malakai going to the E and back to Papa H and back to WWE, which we all know he wants to do anyway because his wife works over there, don't you think that's going to sit with Tony Khan and say, you know what, listen, man, I love you, man. We're going to use you, but you're going to help me get other guys over, but we're going to keep you here another 12 months, man. So we're going to tax some time on T contract. If that don't work for you, brother, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. It's in the fine print of the contract, man. Go take a seat, and we'll use the House of Black sparingly when I want to. What do you think Malakai's going to come out and say? Yeah, my contract's up at the end of the year, man. Yeah, I think I'm going to seek other options. Of course he's not going to say that. Why would you expect him to say that? Why would anybody expect him to say that? But if everybody interpreted that last night as his last time on AEW television, which we know was not, because he's got a match in this tag team title tournament that they're holding for Private Party, whoever's going to wrestle Private Party at Full Gear, House of Black is a part of that. They're wrestling FTR, I think, on Dynamite next week. Should be a banger. I don't know if it's going to be Malakai. It might not even be Malakai. But Brody and Buddy, right? Whatever. At least the House of Black is on television. It may be the last match he has on AEW television. We don't know. So you can't really fault the fans for thinking that way after what they saw. And then we get this report. His contract could be done at the end of the year. Now, that hasn't been confirmed. Tony Khan stated 2 years ago that Black has been under contract for almost 5 years. Black took to his Instagram this morning to say, and I quote, "Here we are once more, a match down, and again, everybody has me retiring. He's retiring because of his injuries and this and that. Well, neither of these things. I'm not injured, I'm not retiring, nor am I leaving. I feel this happens every match, and I don't understand how many times you're going to say these things and them not happening, and people still are going to fall for that. I haven't been injured in more than 3 years. I'm referring to my back injury, of course, and I only posted about that after it was already done. If you would have read the post, you would have seen that and not read what other people have written about. I'm fine. I've been fine for the longest time. I would really appreciate if that stuff stops. If I'm not going to, if I'm going to retire, you are going to hear that directly from me and not after Adam just cuts a promo just as a thank you for the match, because that's all it was. So thank you." So as of right now, he's not going anywhere. But if you want to read between the lines, I'm okay. I haven't been injured in 3 years. You haven't been injured in 3 years. So what is the reason? You don't think fans are going to be asking, well, what is the reason why you're not used on television? Why is Tony dropping the ball on the House of Black if you haven't been injured in 3 years and everything is fine? You can sit there and sit in denial all you want. The fact of the matter is, the House of Black, unfortunately, no matter how great Brody King is, no matter how great Buddy Matthews is, and I've claimed many times I've watched him wrestle, he's one of the best wrestlers on the fucking planet. And the fact that Malakai carries himself like a world champion and should be further along in AEW than he is. I don't give a shit where you sit, who you are, or what you think. The fact of the matter is the House of Black have failed under Tony Khan's creative. And right now they're only being used to enhance others. And nobody's doing a fucking thing to make them look good. How does this make House of Black look good? Buddy Matthews all of a sudden out of nowhere challenges Adam Cole because Adam Cole, theoretically, you want to put into simpler terms, is a pussy. He's fragile. So what happened? Buddy Matthews loses. Malakai, he challenged Adam Cole. Malakai loses. How exactly does this make the House of Black look like a credible threat in any sense of the word on AEW television? And Adam Cole, by the way, who hasn't wrestled for 15 months, who's on a bum ankle, who looks the way he does, frail and fragile. Does that make Malakai look good? You don't have to sit there and hide behind an Instagram post and put out everything is fine, I haven't been injured. You can tell. You can tell by watching. You can tell by the man's body language. If you made a logical guesstimation and you didn't know a fucking thing and you heard this story, I've been fine for 3 years. You think that man is happy? You think his original vision has played out on television? You think with what he wants and where he sees the House of Black, he's getting the House of Black that he envisioned when he first joined the company? Do you think Malakai's happy with his current standing in the company? If you think he's happy, please shut the fuck up and don't watch any more pro wrestling. You don't know a fucking thing. That man on the inside is hurting. He wants out, and he's never going to admit that he wants out because he can't do so. Same thing with Buddy Matthews, who apparently re-upped. I don't know how long he re-upped for, but the money must have been good enough to say, you know what? I'm going to stay here and take a very subpar role while my wife is in WWE killing it every fucking week. This has been a colossal fail. You could sit there and claim the House of Black is going to get an opportunity. The House of Black is great. House of Black, everything is great. I'm not injured. Everything is great. You can sit there and fucking cry all you want about how things are so great. They're not. The man has done nothing in AEW. The only thing of note that Malakai's done in AEW is his debut when he fucking gave Cody Rhodes a black mass in Miami. The vignettes that he cut before he actually showed up on that night. And the steel cage match with Adam Copeland at Double or Nothing. That's it. I don't know anything else that the man or the group has done that even warrants a discussion. Failure. Meanwhile, fans every week are asking, where's House of Black? Why aren't they being pushed? Why is it Malakai further up on the card than everybody else? If he's all right, why are we not utilizing someone like that who people associate with top-tier level performers that this company once relied on? Why is he now gone away and become just another toy in Tony Khan's massive toy chest that gets lost in the shuffle and only reemerges when Tony realizes he's got the House of Black on his toy shelf? Maybe I want to play with them today. Or maybe I want to play with them this month. Tony has failed Malakai. Tony has failed House of Black. If Tony gave a shit about the House of Black, Julia Hart would be back on television, and she would be on television with the rest of the group now that they've gotten more television time this year in the last 3 weeks than they've gotten in all 2024. If he had a direction and a plan for House of Black, Julia Hart, who is ready to come back, by the way, would be on television. And in the midst, in the thick of things, in the women's division that apparently is so great. What are we doing? This company is fucking, it is so bad. I don't know how people don't see what's going on. So you could sit there and say everything is great. I don't give a fuck what he says. I don't give a shit what Tony says. I don't give a shit what anybody says. The man is hurting. The man wants out. I would want out if I'm him. Sure, the money's great. But at some point, you got to sit yourself down and say, yeah, the money's great, but I didn't really see my fucking career wasted the way it has been in 3 years that it has been right now. What is he doing? He doesn't want to make less money and be a bigger star for it in the other place? Not to say that Triple H is going to take him and do better than what Tony Khan did. He may get lost in the shuffle over there too. What is he going to do over there? But the only reason why these guys left in the first place is because of Vince McMahon. Vince never seen anything in Malakai. And Tony now, same thing as Vince, never saw anything in Malakai. Tony doesn't see anything in Malakai. Tony sees Malakai at the position that he's at now. If he didn't see Malakai the way he sees him now, he would be better off somewhere higher up on the card. If he had plans for Malakai and wanted to push Malakai, Malakai would have been a featured performer over the last 3 years, being that the guy just told you he wasn't injured in the last 3 years. So where the fuck has he been? Where's he been? Was it a goodbye to AEW? Very well could be. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It very well could be. The fact that Sapp is saying that his contract could come up at the end of the year, it very well could have been. It's a very weird thing to do and a weird thing to say if you're Adam Cole, who's basically going up against a heel faction. Why would he be thanking a heel faction at the end of his match? And do I trust Tony Khan or AEW Creative to take what they did last night and tell a story where we see the Undisputed Era get back together and they feud with Malakai and the House of Black? No, I don't. No, I do not. From the looks of it, it looks like Adam Cole and whomever is going to be feuding with the Don Callis family. I don't know where they're going. I don't know where any of it's going. But at the end of the day, you can't tell fans to stop thinking a certain way when all of the pieces line up to it being exactly that and feeling exactly that and looking like that. He looks at the crowd. He gives this glowing gaze of like, thank you, people. I love you. I'll be back somewhere else. Thank you, Malakai. Adam Cole cutting a babyface promo on a fucking heel. Thank you. Of course, people are going to associate that with, that might have been his last match.